Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Dan.
And this is the Board Game Rundown, and today we are previewing Gutterfall Bounties by Gideon Games, I believe. I apologize if we are mispronouncing that. This is a deck-building deduction game that plays from 2 to 6 players. I'm going to say in an hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah, hour and a half, depending on how aggressive people get.
Yeah, we had a 4-player count. We learned and played in about an hour, maybe just over.
Mm-hmm.
I think with more players, obviously that can add a little bit of time, but I don't think a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So this game is sort of like a standard deck builder. Everybody starts with the same deck of cards, basic deck of cards. But you do get an asymmetrical hero, which will not only tell you what combat face you need to hit, but you're also going to have an ability. Like, so some guys ignore armor, some guys hits explode and do...
Some guys automatically win ties. Yeah, things like that.
So everybody kind of has a unique ability. And so the goal of this game is that we're all these really tough, scary bounty hunters, but our souls are bound to this one demon, Perditus, and he will release our soul if we can find the bad guy that has the amulet.
Yep.
So we've got 7 of these cards, and one of them is going to basically get hidden, randomly.
Like clue style. Pull one out and hide it. Yep.
And then everybody else is going to get a card. If there's any leftover cards, they go to a market, so other people you can spend money and go and buy and see the card. Well, you get the card. There is a false lead card, which is a blank one. So that after that gets shuffled in. So you could start your turn with no information.
Yeah.
But you also know where this is then. So that is a little bit powerful.
Sure. And you can use it to help bluff, people.
Right.
Yeah, Tim thought I had that earlier, so he didn't go for my card, went for somebody else's.
I did.
And he got the blank card that he had because I didn't have it.
Yeah. Yeah, it completely blew up in my face.
Yeah, it did. It was awesome.
So there's different areas on the board that you can go to. They're all connected. This is a prototype and prototype components.
Yep.
But man,
the artwork is still really cool.
The artwork's great.
Yeah.
So as you go to different locations, there's minor locations and like major locations or major districts. So in the minor locations, you've got like the clinic. So if you get killed, you respawn in a clinic. You've got these markets here, secret market where you can buy wiretaps, and if there's available lead cards, you can buy them there. You can also sell your lead cards at the secret market. You can go to the arms dealer and buy cards here. Weapons and armor for different costs. There's the bazaar where you've got different cost cards that you can buy. The rag market, you can sell 3 of your cards. You basically get rid of 3 cards out of your hand, your deck, or discard pile, and they're out.
I do like that option, like being able to like thin your deck out, because that's one of my deck builders. I really enjoy that kind of a mechanic.
Right. And then in the major districts, this is where it gets interesting, is there's basically a target deck. And so in the target deck, there's the potential for running into these bosses, that might have the amulet. But you're also going to have like low lives, grunts, bosses, thugs, or whatever.
Right.
And you can choose to fight them. You can discard cards of guys you've already beaten to keep searching and try to get that guy to pop up that you need. And then you also, if you defeat them in a fight, you get to collect the bounty on them.
Yep.
So you get the money, which is always good. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Once you think you know who it is, you're going to go and fight them. Or find them on the board. You got to reveal them. They've got to come up. But once they're up and you go to them, you're saying that's who you think it is. So if you beat them and you're wrong, you're out.
I had a 50-50 guess.
You had a 50-50 guess. It paid off.
It paid off.
It paid off. And you had also built yourself up because the bosses were pretty tough.
Yeah, because I knew I was down to 2, and I was looking at her, and I was like, okay, well, I know she's immune to these 2, so I bought weapons that hit on everything else, and then,
And that was just sort of dumb luck, right? That she came up
so quickly.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah, she did.
Which is fine. I mean, I think that's a feature, not a bug, right?
So one of the non-typical deck builder things is you don't like play all your cards and then discard everything and then draw back up. You can keep cards in your hand, and then you're going to just draw 3 extra cards at the start of each turn. There's no hand limit that we saw.
Yeah, there's no hand limit. So yes, you could potentially have your
whole deck in your hand.
Yeah. And then you're going. And the other thing that I thought was really interesting is that when you buy a card, you're just going to go through. Like if you buy a card for 100 credits, you're going to go through the whole deck. Now there's maybe 8 different kinds of cards.
Right.
I mean, there might be more or less
in there,
but there's this whole deck is not as daunting as it seems to like go through. You're going to go through maybe 20 cards and you'll see everything.
Right.
But you get to go through and decide what card you want out of that deck. And then you can either hide it in your discard pile or you can put it right on top if you don't care what people see you get. But whenever you buy anything, the nice thing is you can keep it.
You can hide it. Yeah. So you don't know.
And then same thing with the armor and the weapon. There's weapons and armor, so they will defend on certain icons or give you extra icons that you hit on, which is pretty handy. Which is how I
beat that. Yeah. So since she was immune to 2, I bought the weapons that made me hit on all the other 4 sides, and I rolled it.
And then because you're able to hide it, you wouldn't be able to look and see
you
which
didn't know
ones you
I
were
was
going
trying to
for.
game that system. That's right. Yeah.
Right. So, but I mean that's really it. I mean, you're moving around, you're buying cards, you can attack your other players. If you attack and defeat another player, you get all their money, and you get all their lead cards. But you also gain an infamy, and that means that everybody's going to get to roll an extra die every time they fight you.
Yeah.
So, or if you attack them and you've got infamy, they get extra dice. So there's a lot of things that I think. They work well, together. Interesting mechanics. In addition to the artwork, there's some stuff that I just don't see in other deck builders here. Like I think it brings some new things to the table and some deduction.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the melding of board game and deck builder.
Yeah,
it's becoming more and more of a thing now.
Yes,
yeah, and I'm a fan,
and I'm a fan of it too.
Yeah, because I like deck builders.
I love
not
deck
as big
builders.
a deck builder fan as Tim is.
I know,
but I do enjoy them.
Dan, what do you think so far?
This is a really cool re-implementation of Clue. If you like games like Clue, no, I'm serious. There's obviously much more going on here, but like,
way more.
If you like Clue,
trying to solve deduct.
This is very similar. As he was saying earlier, everyone starts with these things, right? So you have these guys.
You're the one.
I did that on purpose. I set it up earlier.
Oh, okay.
And then, so in these decks, there's exactly the 6 guys you're going to be looking for, right? So there's matches in there. So we didn't show that earlier, but yeah. So you're really just playing Clue, but then with this interesting deck building going on in this awesome world. I love this. I was laughing earlier inside when you were showing, because I didn't even think about it while we were playing. Every single living creature in this universe has a bounty on them. Every single living creature has a bounty.
Welcome to the future.
So I was just thinking about that. But yeah, I love this Blade Runner, this interesting Blade Runner-y world, but like in the center of the earth. And like, the theme is interesting. It's deck building on top of Clue. Interesting.
And the theme doesn't just feel like a skin, though, either. Like, I feel like the theme is implemented pretty well. Like, as your bounty hunters, and the cards are all very specifically like bounty hunter-y kind of things.
Yeah.
And the way you make money, right, is by hunting bounties.
Sure, and this is kind of a staple nowadays. Like, if you don't do this, you're the weird one that stands out, right? But like, the cards are very thematic, right? The taxi lets you move 2 spaces instead of 1, and like everything, all the cards have theme with your occupation in this world, right? They did a good job building this world. I don't know who came up with this world and everything, but good job. It feels real. Like playing this game, I could say like, is this based on a book series or something, right?
Sure,
it feels like a world,
and it's buoyed by such strong artwork. I mean, the artwork is fantastic. I love all of the artwork.
Yeah, and I do like that. So like when you're in the industrial zone. And then all the cards will populate down here. Like, so it's the same picture. So it gives you a place that's the same size as the cards where you can fit the guys down here. And it's not crowding the board where you're placing your people. That's nice.
It's a pretty well designed. I think what I would hope to see in like the final version is maybe just like a little bit more information, like as to what the rag market does.
Sure.
Yeah.
For
example, rag market and secret market. There's so many options there. Just little reminders on the board.
Like
maybe
like $2/$5 on the arms dealer, so you know how much each pile costs.
Exactly. Just little stuff like that, which I'm sure is in their notes anyway. This is just prototype stuff.
This is just us talking. Like pulling stuff out of the air as we.
I do think some people's abilities are way more useful than other people's abilities, but at the same time, if the less useful ability comes up, it's huge.
Sure.
So, where do you balance that, right?
Well, I never really got my ability to work for me. That was just because I was rolling so poorly.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
yeah.
my complaint
you exploded the one time.
The one time.
Yeah.
My complaint is my poor dice rolling.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there was one time it was funny.
Why did Bob rig the dice?
That's right. Well, we had the you were fighting that low life, and you guys were on the same side, like opposite sides of the dumpsters, like trying to trying to shoot each other.
So after the first round of combat, you can choose to withdraw if it's a tie, or you can press, and then it's just a roll off, like a one.
First one to get a hit. Yeah.
And I could not hit.
Neither one of us could
anything
hit.
For nothing.
We rolled probably 10 times, 15 times.
Gosh, it was terrible.
Funny. Yeah.
It was. I mean, it was funny. It was. I say terrible, but it was more like embarrassing.
It was the most embarrassing gunfight I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't know what was happening.
I went from being like the third most feared bounty hunter in the region to like maybe in the top 20.
Right.
Like after that.
It's like they both had 6 shooters,
all.
but there was only one bullet in it, and they didn't realize, and they
Click,
just kept
click,
pulling the
click.
and then eventually his gun went off.
Whoa! What happened? This
Yeah.
does that? I didn't know. But yeah, I think this is really cool. I really want to see what this looks like when it's done. Because this does a lot of things right. I like the deduction aspect of it. Like you said, deck building with a board. Like mixing the board game aspect of it. Yeah, I think there's a lot of options with the cards. I didn't even buy a lot of the cards, but I still
it ended
bought a
relatively
lot.
quickly because like I guessed. And
Sure.
I guessed correctly.
That
so
was
it
the
did.
only negative to me was this type of game should go longer than that, I feel. But it was a guess, and Bob started with information, and like everything was going in his favor there.
Yeah.
So like it was gonna end fast, right? Like so it's not necessarily the game's fault. It could have been a fluke. I hope the game in general lasts longer, right? I also will probably not play with less than 6 personally because I don't like the opportunity for first player to get free information
To
at the
go
beginning of the
and buy
game.
cards.
Like I like it forcing us to fight for the information or
Wiretap.
willingly selling and stuff and wiretapping and stuff, right?
wiretapping,
Like
yeah.
so I think this game will by far play best at 6, which
Sure.
then will also elongate the game slightly, which could help that for
or
me as
play
well.
it 2.
Or play it 2.
Yeah,
Two
so then
players.
there's a
Yeah.
huge
Just
stack
all
of
the
cards.
information.
That would be interesting.
That would
yeah.
be weird.
Because with 4, we had 2 cards.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's relatively easy for those cards. Well, those cards were gone really fast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah. The
First
second
player, second player.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
first player,
it was
second
second player, third player.
Oh,
This
okay.
first player didn't do it.
Oh, right. First player went the other side of the board. That's
Yep.
correct.
Was that you?
Correct.
Yep.
So you're
So
complaining.
Dan's mad that he didn't.
About
do
Yeah,
it.
I don't
being
like that
advantage.
mechanic.
I just messed
I
with
didn't take advantage of mechanic I didn't like. Yes.
Sure.
That's
How
right.
dare I?
How
That's
dare you?
right.
And you lost for it. I hope you're
That's
happy.
true.
But yeah,
Is this coming to Kickstarter?
this will
then?
be coming to Kickstarter very soon.
Cool.
Yeah, I really am looking forward to seeing what this is gonna bring to the table because, I mean, just from the artwork and what they've got with gameplay and everything.
Even these cards are nice for prototypes. Like that's
Yeah, they're not-
I don't know
yeah.
if you can hear that, but it's got a nice whack to it.
Yeah, we've definitely seen worse cards in prototypes.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I like the design. I like the I like the board layout, like Bob was saying, right? With the docks being represented down here,
Right.
The
spot for your
slums.
cards. The dice are nice.
Yeah, the dice are nice. They
I like the
feel weird, but
symbols.
these are obviously prototype dice. That's
Yeah. Sure.
whatever. The symbols are nice. I don't like
It's easy to tell apart.
I don't like how not in universe these colored lines are, but it doesn't matter.
Maybe those are subways.
I don't
You
care.
ever seen a subway map? That's how they're.
Not in Gutterfall.
Have you ever been to Gutterfall, Bob? Dan hasn't, so. But yeah, so this is Gutterfall Bounties. The interesting thing is should this do well, I could see other games like in this universe, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
said, that's the biggest thing it's got going for me is how this. I've barely played this, but just by looking at it and seeing the card stuff, it feels so fleshed out.
Right.
So
Yeah. I think this has got a lot of potential. Can be really cool. So keep your eyes out for it. We'll obviously talk about it on the regular show when it hits Kickstarter. And thank you for sending us the copy and letting us have the opportunity to see this and play this because I'm really excited that we got a chance.
Yeah.
So keep in mind these are all prototype components, but man, the artwork is also great. If you're a fan of games with good art, great artwork. I said that 100 times.
Yep.
But I love the artwork.
Yeah, it's.
I really do.
Yeah.
So anyways, for the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
I've been Bob.
I've been Dan.
And this has been Gutterfall Bounties. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.